Hello stars, welcome or welcome back. My name is Aster. This week we will be reading Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. This book has been highly anticipated on my end. I've had the whole series since September, but I've kind of been putting it off because I've kind of been a little nervous. It's a little nerve-wracking looking at an 8-book series and being like, I have to read all of that. But yeah, I have started it already. I just read a little bit earlier today, which will be the next clip you see, and I'm liking it so far. I'm still a little nervous for this. So I'm not going to be reading one book after the other in this series. I'll read this, and then I will be reading The Striker next. Actually, let me tell you a little story. I still have the sticky note on it because it's cute. So I had my cousins, his niece and nephew over, and they wanted to go to the mall. So we all went to the mall. I was wandering around the bookstore as I did. I had a 20% off coupon, so I went to the mall the day before and bought 2 books. He knew this, but as I was looking around, he was just like, actually he asked, he's like, your cousin wants to know what book you're currently reading. So I told him this book because I hadn't started it, but it was on my nightstand. And then he kind of glanced at the books I was looking at, like on the shelves. I'm like, yeah, and I was looking at the dark romance section, so I steered him away from that. I was looking at Her Soul for Revenge because I just finished Her Soul to Take at that point. Then yeah, I was like, I was going to get this book yesterday, but it had the 30% off sticker, so my 20% wouldn't have worked on it. So I decided to get other books instead. And he was like, yeah, what's this one about? He picked it up off the shelf. And, I just explained it. I said an ex-ballerina. It's like a romance between an ex-ballerina and a football player. No, I said soccer player because I'm Canadian and my soccer, their football. Anyways. And I was like, yeah, it's a romance between them. He's like, oh, that seems interesting. I might have to get it, might have to read it. And he walked away with it. So I was like, oh, okay. All right. Okay. He bought the book, and my friends ended up meeting me at the mall, so I ended up staying longer. My cousins were going to the gym, so I wasn't going to be hanging out with them anyways, so I stayed for an extra couple hours with my friends. And when I came home, I came downstairs and this was propped up on my pillow, and it was just really cute. I went up, obviously, and I said thank you for the book because I hadn't actually said it yet. He was like, yep, save it for the trip because I am going to the States next week, so this is the book I'll be reading while on vacation there, as well as writing, because my next video is supposed to be a writing vlog. So I'll be doing both at once. But yeah, I just thought that was really sweet. It made me really happy. I'm really not that hard to please. Anyways, Throne of Glass, here we go. FYI, if you are new here, this is how it goes. Reading spurts. I talk a little bit in between, but there's never any spoilers. I just give opinions and reactions. But if you're wanting to read this book but haven't and are just wanting something to play while you read or while you do something, you can still watch this. And So I did already read some of this book. I am on chapter 8. So right now, all I know about the Throne of Glass series, okay, actually no, sorry, back up. The only thing I know about Sarah J Maas was ACOTAR in that series, and I got to A Court of Wings and Ruin, and I didn't finish that book. It was one of the books that I accidentally stopped because of work, because I got really busy, and then I didn't pick up again, and I started other books. So either way, I remember really liking her writing style. It was immersive. So when I heard of Throne of Glass, and then I heard when people read it, they like love it, I really wanted to pick it up. So far, I must say I am loving it. Something I found in the ACOTAR series was Feyre was a bit, I don't want to say meek, but this was all, like, everything that happened to her was so new to her. She was completely out of her element until we get to, like, Wings and Ruin, where she starts to become a bit more of a badass. Even in, actually, Court of Mist and Fury, she is too, but, in this, how do I say her name? Selena? That's what I've been saying in my head. I'm scared of being wrong, but oh well, I'm just gonna call her Selena. She walks into the room and she knows she is the scariest person in there, and I am living for it. Even after being, like, in slavery for, was it a year or 2 years? I don't remember. I love a badass female main character, like someone who knows their worth, who knows what they're capable of, and who knows that they can take down any man in that room. And that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from her, so I'm kind of loving it. And I haven't even gotten into the real stuff yet. Like, they're still on the trip over. I can't say more than that because I think that would count as a spoiler at this point. No, it wouldn't, because it's literally on the back. Anyways, back to reading. just read a bit more. I am on chapter 14. I'm actually like really liking it. Like I knew I was gonna, like I had a feeling I was gonna like it, but I didn't have a feeling I was gonna like it this much. Like even when like things with the plot are kind of slowing down, maybe aren't as interesting, the characters interest me enough that I'm like, what's she gonna do? What's gonna happen? Like Selena, I'm loving her. Like I don't know what kind of arc she's gonna go through within this book, but like I love her at the beginning, so it's like I feel like because I only look at this part and not this part, I'm like, oh, I've barely read anything. I still have so much longer, so much more to get to. But in reality, I'm a quarter through the book. Like, I've spent maybe the last, I think maybe hour and a half reading. I'm a slow reader, by the way, to get to this point. From chapter 8 is what I started this reading session on. Last reading session, it was chapter 4 to chapter 8, and then chapter 8 to 14. I don't know why, also this book is just so satisfying to hold, which is really weird. Maybe it's because the last 2 books I've held have been hardcovers, like I've read have been hardcovers. So just feeling the soft cover is actually so satisfying. And something I feel Sarah is doing so well in this book is just not telling us everything. Like she's sprinkling some stuff in and making us wonder, but she's not giving us the whole story. Anyways, I am going to go to bed now. And it looks like my lamp also needs charging anyways, so I will read more of this tomorrow. I really hope I So, I am on chapter 19. Come here. So, I really, I didn't think I was gonna like it this much. I'm impressed. I really do love Selena, the main character. She is confident and she knows herself, but she also knows that because of her year in slavery, she knows that she's not what she used to be and she's pushing herself. There are some scenes where she's like, I need to do this because I'm not gonna be able to win, even though she knows, at her best, she would absolutely be able to beat everyone in that room. But right now, because of how, slavery, she can't. And I don't know, I think that awareness isn't very common in main characters. Actually, usually the main characters start out pretty defenseless. There's so much more left to happen and I'm so excited for it. I'm gonna have my lunch and then I'm gonna get back to reading. just at the halfway point. I actually looked at the page numbers. I'm on page 199 out of 404 pages, so I'm like quite literally at the middle point. Today is Saturday, so I'm supposed to post tomorrow. But I think I might be a little late this week again. I really don't have much left to read, but even if it's an amazing book, I have a short attention span, so I need to do other things for a little bit before I go back into this. On that note, okay, I was expecting to like this book, but I was not expecting to love it. So I have read ACOTAR, and I'm sorry, I can't help but compare the two because they're, the same author. I know they're entirely different novels, but the comparison's always going to be there. And with this book, I think it is the characters. I think I just find the characters in this, mainly Selena, so much more appealing than I did Feyre. I like Selena's personality and attitude so much better, so much more. I don't know, she's my kind of girl. And honestly, I did not know when I was gonna get a chance to do this. Because, like, I'm traveling right now. So, okay, actually, the last clip you got, I was in my bedroom. Obviously, I'm not anymore. I finished this on the airplane, so unfortunately you don't have my last reactions to the ending. But luckily I was given some time alone in the hotel room, so I can do this. Okay, so I think I've already compared this to ACOTAR, which it can't be helped, obviously, because they're the same author, and that is the only other work I read from Sarah J. Maas. But I'm just going to talk about it, you know, compare them. So I liked ACOTAR, but I wasn't too big of a fan of the characters. I think probably just because Feyre was a bit more, I've said this already, meek. But Throne of Glass, I think I like so much more because I guess Selena, is that how you say her name? I don't know. She knew who she was. She was like confident in her own abilities for the most part. Sorry, I have to like half crouch here. Yeah, she was confident in her own abilities and she knew what she was doing. And I feel like for the most part of ACOTAR, I was just like, no, I didn't feel like Feyre was doing much. We were sitting around. I mean, obviously she was kind of a prisoner, so there's that. But either way, I like this kind of main character more, so I'm actually very excited for the rest of the series. I am obviously still going to be not reading it all at once because that'll be too overwhelming for me. Next book I already have, it's already out here. It's The Striker by Anna Huang. I'll be reading that, and then I will get on to Heir of Midnight. I did already read the little snippet that's inside of here. I'm excited for it. I will say though, for the next, like, when I have read with me's or reading vlogs for this series, there will probably be spoilers. And I'll put that obviously at the very beginning of the episode video, just as warning, because it's hard, especially with a book that's a series that's 8 books. It's gonna be very hard not to give spoilers when I'm even doing just reactions. So either way, I was kind of taken aback by how this ended, just between Selena and like the love interest. I don't know if I can even say who it is, but I mean, knowing ACOTAR, I'm pretty sure the love interest isn't actually the love interest, and so at the same time I'm not that surprised, which might be a spoiler. With okay, Sarah J. Maas, I love her writing. I knew that in ACOTAR, that's why I got the rest of like the Throne of Glass series. So that combined with the character that I like, beautiful. It was actually so immersive, is that the right word? Either way, I really liked it. I still failed to obviously get the writing vlog done on time because this was supposed to be last week's video, but that doesn't really matter. What's done is done. Yeah. I'm excited now to do the intro for next week's video. I hope you guys enjoyed this little read with me. Next week I will be doing another reading vlog, but this one for The Striker by Anna Huang. That one's gonna be more of a proper reading vlog. Like, I won't have read with me's because obviously I'm on vacation and I'm not gonna be alone very often to record myself reading. But I will like have times, little moments like this where I can give like opinions and stuff like that and reactions. So and I don't know if I'm gonna be able to finish it by next Sunday. Even if I don't, that's completely fine. I'll still upload it even with like the unfinished thing. It'll be a reading vlog, not a read with me, you know? That also means next week's video might be a bit shorter since I don't have like the 10-minute reading sprints in there. All right? Okay, I'll see you guys next week.